guys and gals. Well, today's Tuesday, July the 7th, and it's been a nice day. It is about 4:05 in the afternoon right now, and it's pretty warm. I don't really want to go out in the sun right now. I did a few minutes ago, and it's pretty hot. So, here from my cooler, you can probably tell I've got a bit of a chest cold, and some chest congestion going on. So, my voice is a little deeper than normal. So, I guess it'd be a good time to join the choir as a bass. But oh well, you know. I wanted to come on though. Got an idea. I've got my two out of three of my kids have purchased me books. I hope the third one hasn't. I don't remember. I just have two. Spencer and Emily both bought me books, and Spencer, in fact, just gave me another one focusing on my spiritual life, my life as a Christian man. So I haven't yet started that book because he got me last year. He set me up, or a couple years ago, he set me up with a subscription, and it was online. So you'd go online, respond to questions, and then once you're all done, they print all up and put a nice cover on the book and send it to you. So I have that inside in my office. But my daughter Emily, back in 2019, bought me a book that I have really been lagging on answering. Part of the reason is because my obsessive personality. I hate to write in something and not be able to finish it. So we've got a book here. In fact, this is the book, Your Father's Story, and it says, Daddy, I want to know everything about you. She put a little heart there. So it's got these questions in it. And today's question, in fact, I'm going to work on doing these videos because I don't know. I mean, I know that it would be good to put them in writing, but to me that's difficult because you have some space, that much space. Well, my problem is, what if I am writing too much and fill it up and I can't finish it? Then it's going to be a mess. Also, my handwriting. My printing right there. You can see my printing. I alternate between that, and sometimes it looks like this. Other times I try my hand at cursive and it looks like this. So that part really bothers me. I want to be consistent. I want to give her something that looks nice and consistent. I doubt if she really cares about that part, but to me it bothers me. So all that to say that I haven't really done a lot of writing that for a while. So what I thought I would do is I thought that I would start making some videos. Now, this may be of no interest to anyone else at all, and that's perfectly fine and understandable. So if you don't like my personal reflections and experiences, then please, you don't have to watch. Don't feel obligated to watch. If you don't, we'll still be friends and all that. But anyway, basically just wanted to let you know that's what I'm going to be doing. So today's question, and I got to get my pipe going again. And I feel kind of bad because I started watching the Stumbo family gathering, and I said a few things. I still have it going, but I've got it muted because I wanted to make this video. So I apologize to James Stumbo for that, but I'll join in as soon as I'm done with this. Especially the people who might be saying hi to me and I'm not responding. I feel guilty about that, but what do you do? I don't know. Anyway, so today's question is, what childhood experiences did you have that you wish I would have gotten to experience? So I thought about that for a while, and there are a lot of things that I was able to do. I feel like life was much simpler. I'm 62, so my teenage years were in the 70s, and my really small years were in the late 60s. But mid 70s is probably when I have the most memories, and into the early 80s when I was in high school. I graduated in 1981, so between maybe 75 and 81, those are the main things I'll be talking about in this video. So I guess the first thing, and this again is to my daughter Emily, so I'm going to talk to her now, and you can feel free to just hang out with us and while I talk to Emily. So what I would really wish you could experience was, I guess, just the simplicity of childhood back in the 70s. I mean, the world is, I don't know what happened between the 70s and now. It's just gone crazy now. I know that people probably say that too about, who were born in the 40s and the 70s. I'm sure we're a crazy time with all the hippies, but I mean, I was pretty sheltered. I spent a lot of time at my grandma's house, doing my newspaper route. So everything I did. I mean, I was at my grandma's house, Grandma Swisher's house, from probably the time I was in the first grade through whenever I didn't need to go over there anymore. Although I did, because I had my paper out. So until I was 17 years old, I had that paper out. So that's quite a few years of going over there every afternoon, day in, day out. So most of my formidable years were spent at her house in her neighborhood, which at the time was a great neighborhood. It was full of a lot of older people. The homes were well kept, it was clean, it was safe, and it was the best place in the world to grow up. I would get out on my bike and explore the streets, um, do my newspapers up and down the streets every single afternoon. Go by a liquor store called Sherry's Liquor Store in North Chester, get myself a snack, which probably meant a soda and a bag of Doritos, because those were brand new back then. Taco flavored Doritos were brand new, so I spent quite a few time stopping there and getting something, because it was really hot in the summertime. You didn't have a choice. You got off on your bicycle and you pedaled the neighborhood, and with all those papers on you. So I was a sweaty mess by the time I got home. So it felt really good to go by, get that soda. Not the healthiest thing, but that's what I did. So just growing up in what seemed to be a small town, I grew up in Oildale, which is a little north of Bakersfield. It wasn't a city, it was just a little town that, of course, was started in the oil fields. It was an oil field community, basically. But where I was out was a pretty good area. It wasn't as rough as some of the other areas, but it was a great area. I remember just being able to walk around, peruse those streets, walking around at Halloween, trick or treating, without a worry in the world. I mean, my mom was so lax. I guess she knew it was safe and she trusted me, that I spent the evenings. I would just go out, find my friend Travis. We just go out walking. We just spend the whole evening in the summer just walking. And even during the school year, we did some of that, because again, she wasn't really strict on much. I don't remember having a curfew. I mean, I never pushed it, so I'm sure I got home and at a decent time to go to bed. But I don't remember ever being given a curfew. You know. So anyway, I guess just the simplicity of those days, being able to walk to a little store in the neighborhood down an alley and get a little bag of black licorice for a penny a piece. I mean, if you had a dollar, you had a lot of licorice, 100 pieces. I probably never had really a dollar to do that, but even for a quarter, 25 pieces of black licorice is quite a bit. And I've always loved black licorice and still do to this day. But I guess the simple times. Bakersfield back then, when I was a teenager, I remember driving past a sign, and it said that the population was 189,000. Um, and it still felt fairly small. That was Bakersfield, the city limits. That wasn't Oildale. I have no idea how many people resided in Oildale at that time, but it was a little town with a lot of mom and pop stores in neighborhoods. I mean, you could walk a couple blocks and have some little store in a neighborhood that they sold things, lunch meat. I remember walking in these places, and the guy had like sausage hanging off the ceiling, and I thought, well, that's really weird, because I was used to like Farmer John Links. It's got these big old sausages and casing hanging off the rack or whatever. So it was just a great time. Times were simple. So I guess of all the things, Emily, I just wish you could experience the simplicity of growing up in the 70s and being able to experience that small town life. All right. Well, that's enough for this video. Find all that extensive and that complete, but those are the main things I wanted to see. So God bless y'all. Love you, Emily.